Public relations is technically defined as a management function that manages and evaluates and researches the attitudes of the public on behalf of an organization. And there are a lot of people who would believe that public relations is simply reaching out to and building relationships with the media. And for anyone who believes so, you are sadly and unfortunately mistaken. While media does make up a big part of what public relations is in terms of gaining third-party endorsement, it is not the only function of public relations. So when a organization looks at all the publics that surround it, it would include the media, but also customers and clients, employees, government groups, nonprofit groups, social media groups, and the list goes on. And all of these audiences need to be considered when an organization is developing a communications program to be able to build relationships and raise awareness about their brand. I like to think of public relations as one of the many essences of social media because they both have very strong foundations in building relationships. And you build those relationships by making connections, and you make connections by sharing stories. And you can share stories either through images or videos or text, and then having your networks share your stories with their networks outside of the networks that you're networking in, if that makes any sense. So let's say, for example, you're sharing an image in Facebook. You want your Facebook friends to share it with their Facebook friends, and you also want them to share it on their Twitter networks and on their YouTube networks and any other network that they're connected to. And this is what helps content and information to go viral. The key, however, is to always have a constant, regular stream of valuable content and information to share with your networks. And that way, people will always see you as someone they can rely on in terms of getting the latest news and information, somewhere they can turn to for any information to do with your products or services, as well as someone who stays on top of what's going on in different networks and communities. So there's a very strong connection between PR and social media, just in the relationship building and the connecting aspect of it. Some small business owners tend to think of social media as just another thing to waste their time or just one more thing that they have to do. But on the other side of that is that social media holds a mountain of resources and opportunities if it's used correctly. So it's important because of the opportunities, of course, and the resources. And it's also important because social media is here to stay. I've had quite a few people ask me, is social media going away? Is there a time where we're not going to have to bother with it? I don't think that's true. Social media is definitely here to stay, and it's important for businesses to jump on board now and begin to learn it and leverage it so that 10 and 15 years down the line, or even 5 years down the line, they've built up that longevity, and customers that visit their different social networks see that they are a business that has been in the game for some time. So it's definitely here to stay. So that makes it very important. And the last reason why it's important is because your competitors are there. Think about it. You have competitors in your industry. You're not the only one who's doing what you're doing. So they are definitely jumping on the bandwagon, getting involved in different social networks, building communities with your potential clients. So you might want to think about that. If you're ready to scratch social media off your list as something that you don't want to do, we strongly suggest that you think twice about it because it is here to stay, and it's something that can definitely be used to create opportunities for your business and for yourself. And there's also lots and lots of great resources in social media. Everything from, finding help with your marketing initiatives to, connecting you with the right people that you need to be connected with to launch a new business venture. So it's definitely worth some looking into. Thank you.